Welcome everyone to Campaign Scene Cocktails, where we are a bunch of radiant ramblers who like to drink and play TTRPGs.
That's us.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us on this adventure of cooperative storytelling and crafting of cocktails. As always, if you would like to engage with us in a more interactive fashion, please click all the links below. There you will find links to our Discord, to the Instagram, to all the places you can watch or listen, and blah, 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 blah. Also, hit the buttons. Hit the like, subscribe, all that stuff. Click it, click, clickety, clackety, clickety, clack. And before we get into drinks today, we do have one shout out for sure. But before we even get there, I have to say, happy episode 60.
Yay! Wow.
I can't believe we've made it this far. I said that 10 episodes ago, but it seems like it's always a shock when we make it to a milestone.
Also, happy holiday season, right? As you're listening to this, we're rapidly approaching
Season's Shriekings.
Yes, season Shriekings. Wow. That's a good one. But yeah,
matches my Nightmare Before Christmas study.
Hopefully, you're all celebrating your holiday of choice with your people of choice.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Nate, what we got?
So Laws has finished, and I was lucky enough to attend their soft opening the weekend we're recording this. The weekend you are listening to it, they'll have done their grand opening for what they are calling their Whiskey Sanctuary. It is their new cocktail lounge and tasting room space. Gorgeous, stunning. The drinks are great that they have on the menu already. And because it's done, they're going to start doing more tasting room exclusives for stuff they get to release. One of which we have here tonight that I bought. They also did Marianne's Promise. So they have a rum. Because that is Laws. Al, the guy who started it, his wife is Marianne, and he promised to make her rum. But anyways, go check out their new space. It is fabulous. It is worth it. It is, and support local, shop local.
And they have some of the best bar talent in the state of Colorado, and some poached from other states as well, working there right now. So it's a phenomenal crew.
I would also
all the
drink local, right? Poach distant.
Correct.
And there's Carl.
Hey, Carl.
Yay, it's Carl. Hey. There he goes. I want to give a quick shout out to SoCo Social House over here in Grand Junction. I was there this weekend with a player at another table, and Alex, our friend who we met at the con. She had got her drink that Curtis and I helped workshop her with. That's on the menu now, the Dragon's Kiss. It is absolutely delightful, perfectly sweet and floral at the same time. So shout out Alex, and she's in the Discord. So if you want to hit her up, you can. She's a great bartender, and it's a totally fun space if you ever come through the Grand Valley. So awesome. So my friends, what are we drinking?
Pick 3 total.
3 total.
I started with this, which is now gone. However, it was 2 ounces of cachaça, half an ounce of Batavia Iraq, 3/4 of an ounce of pineapple juice, half an ounce of lemon juice, 1/4 ounce of rich raw cane syrup, handful of mint, and a handful of chopped up pineapple. Shake it up and dirty dump into the Collins. I garnished it with a lime wheel and some pineapple wedges and a mint bushel. And Nate and Dustin have this bitchin' copper straw that just popped with the color of the cocktail. Pictures and build are in the Discord. Basically, it's a rum pineapple smash, and it was great.
And I made a drink that my friend Devin shared with me last week. Super delicious. It's called the Pineapple Mode, which is a play on words of pineapple a la mode, because it's got a little bit of liqueur 43 in it. Kind of makes it kind of taste like pineapple and ice cream. It's 1.5 ounces of pineapple juice, 1.5 ounces of specifically the Empress Indigo Gin. It really goes well with the Empress Gin because you get some of that, the botanicals, really herbaceousness. That's super nice. And then it is a ounce of liqueur 43, no, 3/4 of an ounce of liqueur 43, and then just shy of a half ounce of lime. Shake, pour it in a chilled coupe with a Luxardo cherry on a pick, and drink the shit out of it. It's delicious.
Nice.
And then Jared's got a lovely beverage as well.
So this is my drink apparently of the season. It's called Flip Yourself. It's 1 ounce bourbon, 1 ounce cognac, ½ ounce of, typically it's our chai infused vodka. This time I used allspice dram because I forgot the chai vodka at home. ½ an ounce of cranberry juice, and then ½ an ounce of
Cranberry?
yeah.
Oh,
Interesting.
Oh.
Anyway, ½ an ounce
Pretty good.
of ½ an ounce and a whole egg, and a ½ ounce of maple syrup. Yeah,
Nice.
put that all in a tin. Dry shake, wet shake.
Pretty fucking good.
Typically, I garnish it with grated cinnamon. I use dark chocolate this time. I'm gonna see how it tastes. A little bit of a
It's
different drink,
really good.
but yeah,
Really, really good.
that's it.
And because I'm not going to make anything, I decided to make a spicy rum fashioned. It's 2 parts diplomatico rum, like not even 1 part of semi-rich turbinado syrup, Betterman's tiki bitters, the Tres Amigo bitters, stirred and then garnished with a dried grapefruit. It's
Nice.
delightful.
Looks pretty tasty.
It looks good.
So, all right. Do we have anything else before we move forward?
I think we're good to go.
All right. So the last time we gathered, the fight continued, and the party dealt with the strange reactions of these metal creatures who were guarding something. They eventually overcome the total of 4 creatures, but some of the effects were hilarious in that L was magnetically attached to a second level grate, and then Patrice was slowed. So that was really fun. But now the 6 of you are done, and these 4 creatures lay on the ground. What are you doing?
Do I see any writing on any of these creatures?
No, you do not.
Okay.
I mean, we're in like a warehouse type room,
It's almost like a
right?
factory looking thing.
Kind of. So let me share this just to make this easier. What I would describe this as is a it's kind of like so in a jail they call it a sally port, right? So it's just kind of this entry area where, like, can I get everyone to make a real quick perception check, and then it'll make more sense as I explain these things.
is passive a thing?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay.
I don't think it's got. No, it's got.
Passive's a thing, eh?
Still good. It was dark.
Okay.
25.
Drink, motherfucker, drink, motherfucker, drink.
Went the wrong way.
Yay! Passive's a thing, eh?
I was curious why you were asking that.
Well, Nate asked first, but then I rolled a 1.
I always ask because my passive, which I'm using, is a 20.
It's time for our punishment.
Oh, that's what
I
you're
roll
reaching
it.
for. I thought you were reaching for this.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't roll that much lower than my passive.
Patrice got a 7.
Okay.
When the dice perform poorly, we must be punished.
With the
What else do we got, guys?
I rolled a 12, exactly 1 point higher than my passive.
There you go.
25.
Okay. And then what was yours, Nate? I didn't hear it.
Passive's 20, but I rolled a 17.
Okay, 20. So for everyone who's above a 12, what you notice is, so this is a place where it looks like the description of like an industrial space actually fits, but instead of machinery and material being moved, creatures and sentient beings are moved through here. Let's see here, I think Skjald rolled high enough, and he would know, and probably Sark and SOA. What you are seeing are stations where someone who has been arrested or has been captured is going through like the in processing of now being interred into some sort of prison. Right. So like you see places like if you look here in this center bit here, like you see this there's a raised platform, not much, just enough to raise it enough so like you could trip of it if you weren't paying attention. But you see connections where like leg irons can be attached to, and you see the drill holes where like workstations had been established, and you see the detritus of just kind of like imprisonment, chains and cuffs, and you see kind of some decaying scraps of jumpsuits, multiple colors, green, orange, red, and black.
It's a out of character Matt question, dude. Right, I know we're looking for the Ravenhold Institute, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we think we're there.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know if that's a prison or not, or do we just know that it's called the Ravenhold Institute?
Pretty sure we
You do know that Ovisium was held here as a prisoner.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
And the people your former character killed used it as a prison for the people they.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was put out there. So you were told by Prosperin that the Toyful Cabal had used this to imprison creatures and sentient beings who were of magical ability who could rival them.
Thank you. It's been, 6 weeks. My brain's Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
It's also probably been a literal year since we
talked about that.
Yeah, been a while.
Okay. So,
and Skjald did find there at the entrance. It said Ravenhold.
Yeah.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we're looking for a prison.
Yeah.
My mom always used to say I was cruising for a bruising.
Well, this is a prison.
Patrice, I heard her say that to you.
Yeah.
I don't think you knew I was there, right? I was on the other side of the street, but
Got really good hearing.
yeah. No, I remember that.
Do we see doorways and shit around us? Besides
Yes,
what we came in?
with that perception check, you're going to notice, besides the one that you came in, there are 4 other entryways.
Oh.
So as you look here on the screen, if you guys can see it, this is the one here that you guys came in. There's one. As you go around, there's a gentle slope as it goes down. There's an entryway here. This one is above ground on the 2nd floor. This one also is above ground on the 2nd floor, and then there's this one. The 2 on the 1st floor are of the same size and design as the when you came in. These 2 at the top, and this is only because you guys rolled so well. Those at the top look like either small service mechanical entries or like guard entries.
Yeah. Is there obviously, is there like a desk or like an office looking like area here where someone would maybe be doing paperwork, or is it all just kind of like holding cells?
Well, there's no, like, this is all one open space.
Okay.
Right.
You're right.
So as you look around, what would be holding cells is where you see like big steel like U's like this, where it looks like they could attach chains, or they would have hooks on them where the leg irons could be attached, and then the prisoners couldn't move. Make another perception check for me, Esway, and then you can, based on that question.
That's much better. 21.
So as you were looking around, you noticed that the walls next to these 2 service entries look like there's a couple of like smaller windows that are they're enough like face to look down, kind of to observe, but there's no way you can actually, from where you're at, to look in and see what's happening. Like if you were to see anything right now, you would see eyeballs, maybe just kind of like this, so
Interesting.
I kind of want to check out the smaller doors.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like Sark would move towards the one that he's closest to, this one. Because
Okay.
he's on that railing and walk that way, and kind of keep an eye on where everyone else moves to. But I'd look to see if we can get through that one starting out.
So the doors, there is no door there.
Oh,
It's just
So what you're seeing is, or there is a door. It's not latched, but it's on the ground, and it looks like it's been torn off the hinges at some point. It's a massive steel door. Go ahead and make an investigation check for me, Sark. I'm not going to move people on the map. I'm just holding it up here for reference.
I keep swapping back and forth so we can have it on a slightly bigger thing.
Yeah.
There's my investigation.
From where I'm standing, can I see any words around that door? I'm not going up there, but
No, and you would have a pretty good view on both of them.
yeah.
Squall. It seems like it seems like at this point everything has been scrubbed, and everything is either the original stone and wood of the floor that has been changed and modified to meet the needs. And it looks like, as you're looking, because you did have a 25 as you were looking, the walls do not look like the natural walls or the original walls. It looks like they are steel that has been bolted onto the wall.
Interesting. Okay.
I got an 11 for that investigation.
As you walk through, the steel grate turns into wood floor, and you notice that as you look in, some very similar space to the weird older ancient ruins that your party has encountered throughout their year and a half together. You see what looks like similar control panels, a couple of bunks, but unlike the other ones, these are actually ruins. There's nothing that seems to be functional. You see massive claw marks, as well as what looks like precise cut marks across all of the control areas and spaces. As you look, you can see that there are here as well. There looks like there are the deteriorating detritus of jumpsuits, but of a gray color instead of that doesn't match anything that you see on the bottom. You see weapons, and then you also see splashes of some sort of like reddish brown stain all over.
Sark will grab or attempt to grab one of the remnants of the jumpsuits and a weapon, walk back out and just kind of toss them onto the floor where everyone else is and be like, I don't think the guards survived whatever happened.
Is the door to that room inside or outside the room?
The one that Sark was just in?
Yeah.
Was it
It's inside. It has been torn off and is pushed to the inside. And also, Sark, there is no door outside. It just goes into that singular room.
Yeah, that's what I assumed as I walked in. Nope, well, they didn't survive. Grab those two, toss them out, and be like, should we check the other one or should we just go deeper?
That's what I was going to go check the other one just for shits and giggles.
Make an investigation check as you get in there.
Can I go look at the weapon that got tossed down and see if there's anything on it?
It is a very simple short sword. It is, the hilt and the handle are all made of one singular piece of wood, and it's just the short steel has been inserted into it. It's not highly crafted. It's not super nice. Like it's one of those things that's made because they don't expect a lot of resistance,
Dirty 20 on the investigation.
You find in a room that is identical to what has been described to you. Door has been torn in, claw marks and precise weapon marks into the control panels, bunk beds. Here you actually find a few desiccated body parts, including a hand, a foot, and an ear. Stuck in the middle with you, by the way. If you get that reference, you my friend.
Love it.
I'm already dancing over here to the 70s, songs of the 70s.
And then you come to realize that these dark brown stains are blood, and it is a disturbing amount of blood. You're not sure exactly what could have done this, but like the amount of blood that is spilled, you're talking 10 people.
Does I think Sid kind of like walks over behind SOA's shoulder and is like, does it look like people were tortured here or just?
I think whatever got in here and killed them. That's my read on the situation.
With anger and vengeance.
Yeah, right. Like I don't. You don't get splatter like this from torturing someone, right? You get splatter like this from a monster excavating someone, disaboweling someone.
How would SOA know what the splatter of
Yeah,
torture
it's the wrong. Yeah, it's the wrong.
I was like, I think he means
No, it's
eviscerate, but I
perfect.
think
No,
it's
it's-
referred
I mean,
It's
It's
so good. I had the
Excavating probably
perfect
fits,
visual of
Yeah.
honestly.
Anyway,
I was like, it depends on like sorry.
My question is, how does SOA know what the blood spatter of torture looks like?
well, I mean, you would think that you're not. I guess she wouldn't.
But she would act like she does.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
She definitely is speaking as an authority on the subject.
She may have some
In her own
idea
head.
after conversations with Skald and Al.
That's valid.
She has been spending a lot of time with Skeld.
Has Sid ever faced like monsters or like that
Oh, yeah.
kind of creature in her time? Probably.
So, in the Nicodeic Expanse, as Matt, the player, can tell you, is a fairly wild space outside of the controlled areas of the nations. So, like the mountain regions and the Desolation and the area around the Brudal, that is all very wild and magical and like the full of beasts.
Okay.
You've also seen sentient creatures do this.
So just can't tell if it's beast or
Right,
man
right.
or creature, but
But like it looks like it was like violent,
yeah, there's a level of beast.
intense.
I wouldn't say
Yes, I guess.
There's a level of furry.
There's a level of Kurosawa going on in here.
I would say it is more of a level of unrestraint, of lack of restraint.
Right. That's what I was getting. That's what I was feeling.
One of the things for you, Sid, that you would know is that professionals apply violence at an appropriate level, right?
Or selectively.
I was in the profession of arms, man. Like there is an appropriate level of violence.
There's a level of precision involved.
Yeah.
This is people who are at least competent at violence, but they don't know their limits of violence, right?
Or didn't care.
Or didn't care. Those both could be correct,
Yeah.
or it could be one or the other.
That's what grabs the body parts and tosses them down, and there are remains in this one.
Scald's gonna walk over to the other Sallyport door and see if there's any inscriptions around it.
Which one? There's two others. There's the one down here there's the one at the bottom right, and then there's one at the top right.
I'll go to the
red ones.
I'll go to the bottom right first.
I was gonna say it's closer in SOA and Cinder
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
And
you
I'll just go to the one that's closest to him first. You know.
Yeah, so you are definitely going to see writing. You see what you see is there's some writing that lines the arch of this thing, and I'm not going to give you the full details because it's really not important. But what you're reading is poetry that has been etched into this door frame, but then attached to the door frame is a sign that does not match the aesthetic of the natural building that you guys saw above before you came into this room, and it says prisoner rooms with an arrow pointed like up, like directing this way. And one thing that separates the doors, all three of these doors on this bottom level, is they're obviously the original work, and the aesthetic of these doors is much more sophisticated, and as in the real world is like in IRL we would say like that modern kind of like that mid-century modern glass and wood and steel kind of look, you know, while the rest of it is just brutalist steel, like not the fun brutalist but like Soviet brutalist.
Frank Lloyd Fright.
Mm-hmm. Whew.
It's that sad thing about buildings. Thanks, Kurt.
Yeah.
Can I go look at the remains that got tossed down and see if I can figure out what they're from?
I mean, you can try. Make a medicine check.
While Elle is doing that, I say this leads to prisoner rooms, and then I'm going to walk over to the other door up to the north.
I feel like Sark would walk that way too because it goes back the way we came, but we weren't in that room.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I'm just curious to see where it goes.
So in this case, there's no signage. Except for I take that back. There is some signage. There's as you look at the door frame, it looks like it's the continuation of the same poem from there. But as you look at the door frame, there's another sign that says dock.
This goes back outside to the docks, or a dock of some sort. Is there any kind of window or anything in this door?
No, it's the same kind of. So like these 3 doors are the 3 really thick wood doors that you guys came in.
Okay.
That kind of they have the magical, they're automatic doors once you hit the button. So yeah, no window.
I'm gonna not hit the button right now. I'm gonna hold off. Last time I did something smart, it didn't turn out great.
It's fine. It's fine. You closed it right away.
I did close it right away. I am pretty good at also closing.
It was very much open the door.
Yeah. I was like, nope. There's bad stuff in there.
I rolled a 10 for my medicine.
Yeah, it's too desiccated. I mean, you're not even getting skin tones at this point. It's kind of dehydrated enough to the point that it is gray, and just kind of you can tell that it is humanoid. The hand, because it has 5 fingers. The ear is not elvish, so that would eliminate dwarves, elves, gnomes, and halflings. The foot is not a foot. It is a claw, like a foot claw, like a bird's claw. That's all you get. I mean, it's a lot of information, but it's still not going to give you shit.
Do you guys think our best bet is to keep going down?
I mean, we're looking for a prisoner, and that
Literally
says prisoners.
Yeah.
So I feel like deeper is better than back out at the moment.
Okay.
Docks also tend to have more valuable things than people in them.
True.
So a good spot to swing by on our way out.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea.
Or we swing by first in case we're coming out in a hurry.
Hey, did you see these robots, El?
Yeah, I'm hoping the doc has something to help me carry them.
Oh.
Think about who you're talking to, Patrice.
He's already thought
Just
about this.
think about it.
So you're looking for Tensor's floating forklift?
Yes.
Exactly.
Are you Tensor's floating disc certified?
I would be surprised if Elle wasn't this.
Right.
I mean, all the girls love him because of it.
That's right.
And then, as the debate's happening, I was just gonna play with casting Mending and Prestidigitation on the remains, and see if he can get anything useful from that.
I mean, the amount of time that it would take to actually cast to fix the thing is ridiculous.
I mean, if he sees a change, he'll just keep doing it and just kind of hold it and
I mean, what's the goal here?
to see what happens.
Science.
I fucking hate it.
You can just let him play with it as we wander off, because at that point I'll be like, yeah, you focus on that. We're going to go deeper. We'll come back and check for your...
The vague thought is we may need the hand to open something at some point if it was a guard.
Fair.
Do y'all think these robots did the brown spots on the ground up there? Made the mess? They're still active.
And they're not anymore.
I mean, but okay, right? Like, so the panels both had like clawed, right? Like you specifically said there was like claw damage on there. Do the robots have claws like that?
Nope. They had 4-fingered hands, so it was 3 fingers and a thumb, and one of them had their right hand had been turned into a sword. Remember, you watched it as it.
But right, so a reasonable assumption would be that the robots don't look like they were equipped to do the kind of damage that we're seeing to the consoles.
Could they even fit in the door?
These ones would not.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, pretty clear.
And it sure as hell wasn't whoever was using that sword and gestures to the one that's on the ground. That's
All right.
a metal club.
Well, let's. All right. Elle wants to go to the dock. Everybody
Let's
else,
go to the dock.
Let's go to the dock. He seems like.
Skeld smacks the button that says open.
How far are we from that? From where Skeld is?
We can wait because we're all moving up here.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to see if he gets
Yeah.
sucked out the airlock.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
I'm standing
This whole
straight in front
time,
of it with you.
Like, we just watched Alien, and I'm like, I'm going out a fucking airlock. This is how I go. This is it.
So,
I know that we were standing
I
on
don't
the
know if
deck of a
that's
ship in the
close.
astral sea, but this is, I'm going to go into the void. What's happening?
I feel like Azaway and Sid would just wait up there.
Yeah.
And
as the door opens, it's not a drastic change in pressure, right? Like it's an airlock. What it is it's just now it reminds you of when you stepped off the Shirlene in onto the deck of Ravenhold, and the wind begins to hit. You just hear that rustling sound of like, wind at altitude, right?
Yeah.
And as Skjald steps through, you do see stacks of crates and barrels and a few chests. And as you look down, you see that this is a fairly small space. I mean, small-ish for the size of the rest of the facility. 'Cause everything else has been kind of open and airy and everything. This is relatively small. It's about 30 feet across and about 50 feet deep. And what you see is that there was some sort of door, or there is, you're not sure, but it's open. And it's been open to the elements for however long. And so that's what you're seeing is the wind, and you feel it as it's coming and kind of catching and swirling around here in this dock.
Do these chests have locks on them?
Make an investigation check.
Don't mind if I do. I cannot tell. I got a 5.
Yeah, you just see that they're chests, and you're just kind of doing a quick survey, but I will tell you that you see 5 chests and 15 crates and 4 barrels.
I mean, I feel like this is a later problem at the moment.
I was gonna go look around for the controls for the exterior door if you can find them.
Make an investigation check, please.
Do I get advantage on that?
Because you're investigating where a thing is, not what it is.
I figured, but you know.
Doesn't matter.
Morgan was ready for that one.
That's a 28.
So you do find the controls. They're right next to where the door is, and it's the same situation as you've been described before. You see kind of some animalistic tears across it, as well as some very precise weapons placements, mostly stabs. But you do see something that looks like it's maybe been some sort of shot of something hot burning through, like a very precise circle that has gone through. But as you notice it, you look up, and it's like a retracting door that can be like rolled down like a garage door, right? It just happens to be up.
So I'm guessing the panel looks way too damaged to actually even try using.
Well, and you guys have not had the best of luck when it comes to trying to fix and interact with these things in the past.
No, we definitely have not.
Yeah, there's a brief pause where Elle considers opening it visibly, and then she goes, "Nah, it's a bad idea."
All right.
Skeld's gonna go try to open a chest.
It is locked.
So I'm going to figure that out.
Skeld's gonna hit it with his sword.
Roll an attack, please.
It's gonna be like 16, I want to say, maybe. Or I'm sorry, 26 or.
Go ahead and roll some damage. See what happens.
That is going to be 9 slashing damage.
All right, roll a d100 for me.
Yes. You love to see it. You love to see it. Okay, we're gonna say this one is the 10s, because I don't feel like pulling out an actual 10s. So that's gonna be 73.
You take 9 points of necrotic damage as you strike the thing, and like you hit it, and like normally a chest like this, you've opened these with your swords before. It's not a thing, but like you hit it, and all of a sudden this black, very similar looking energy comes up your sword and crawls up your arm, and it comes into your chest as you take 9 points of necrotic damage.
Do you want me to roll or round 4.5 up or down?
What do you mean?
Well, I have resistance.
Oh, you round down.
Okay.
So that'd be 4.
There we go.
Hurt.
It tickled. It definitely tickled.
Does it do that when you try to move it? Because a chest that hits back is kind of cool.
I mean,
Problem
you're
for
welcome
later.
to find out.
Problem for later.
Where are we going, Sark?
The other door at the moment.
All right, lead on.
That's the way Patrice, Sark, and maybe Sid are walking to the other door.
I was like 3 steps
I mean,
towards
Skell
the
definitely
chest
is
and
as well.
pauses when Sark says that. And she's like,
Skelet's already walking away. He's like, have fun over there. That shit sucked.
Because otherwise it's the next 3 sessions. How to open a chest.
I was just going to take it and figure it out later.
Get them on our way out.
Okay.
The docking bay door is open.
Yeah, and I was
Pull
like,
the
if we
ship
can
around.
figure it out, we can just throw them off and hope that the ship can
That's why I
catch
wanted to see
them.
if it tried to kill you when you moved it.
And we could tie a rope to Sark, get on the Shirlene, fly up underneath here, and just shoot him off of the ship into the hole and have him push that stuff down to us. It'll be fun.
This conversation is happening as they're
we're
walking.
walking.
Yeah, we're walking
Towards
towards
As
the
we're
prisoner
walking,
door.
I'm
Yes.
trying to let you know it's okay. It's gonna be fine.
We have options.
We got
have
stuff. We can
recourse.
do this.
I mean, I haven't launched upwards yet from the Shirley. I've only dropped that.
Oh, God.
Let's try that when there's gravity.
Let's do that later.
Yeah.
What does the door look
Gravity.
like? Is this the wooden style?
It's the same one as you just encountered. It is a button, a wooden door with a button.
Patrice opens the door and then turns away immediately.
Sark just stands behind him and watches this happen. Like, huh.
I hide behind the I hit the button and then I hide behind the wall. And I let everybody else deal with it.
Skeld walks through the door.
The door opens up, and you kind of see some of the as you walk out. This floor is not wooden like most of the other ones. This is a stone floor, and there's kind of a low-lying mist that is kind of just sitting there. And as you step through Skald, it just kind of coalesces and swirls around your feet. There are 6 rooms, 3 on either side, as you walk through.
Carl. I'm assuming that the doors are all 6 doors closed?
Make a perception check for me, please.
$15.
5 of the doors are closed. 1 is open. The one on the far left, the very furthest, is open. And the reason that you can tell that it is open because the door lies in towards the hallway.
Well, something maybe came out of that one.
Or into that one.
Well, if it's...
I'm guessing it
Oh.
came out and did all the stains. And
Looks like something broke out.
It looks like something broke out of it. Okay.
What's in the lock? The ones that are still closed.
Are they labeled?
They are not labeled. However, there are small peepholes, kind of like portholes you can look into. They are the average human height.
So Sark can look in them. I'll go down to where the open door is, look in it, and then look in the peephole on the opposite side.
So before you get there, as you're walking, please make a perception check for me, please.
Does my passive count in this?
Yep.
Cool.
Yay!
Well, Woo! What is it? Actively, that sucks. That's a 1.
Yay!
For 11, my passive is a 20.
So as you're walking up, something that you notice that's on the ground is you see what looks to be some piece of like it moves like as you kind of brush up against it. It's a dark line along the floor. And as you move it, it moves and sounds like a chain, but it is much more sophisticated than that. And it lines up to the door. And as you get there, you notice at the door, this is a thick steel door, there is what looks to be a grappling hook that has been shot through it. And on what would be the interior is where it is punctured through and opened up. And so it looks like this door has been pulled instead of slashed. So in this case, what you're interpreting with this is this was forced open, and it was just they were not succeeding in slamming it open, they were pulling it open. And as you realize that, that's where we're going to take our first break for the evening, and we will be back here in just a few moments. Welcome back, everybody, to Campaigns Concoctions, where Jared gave his number to a girl, but not for the reason you think.
And apparently his wife was okay with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Encouraging even.
Congratulations, you just made a YouTube.
That's getting fucking clipped, and that's turning into a short. That's sorry, John. Your heavy rain rant is going down as the number one short on the channel because of that one. All right, what are we drinking, y'all?
I will do our mocktail for the evening. So I made batch 2 of what I call the roseberry shrub. It's delightful this time, but I used 1.5 ounces of it, a 1/4 teaspoon of orange blossom water, 2 mint leaves, shook that up, poured it over a large cube, and topped it with Pellegrino sparkling mineral water. It is delightful. It is sweetened up as it sat there. It's kind of interesting.
Nice.
Can hand it to Jared, and then I think I'm gonna do my second one because
Do the second one.
And then in line with going to Laws, I swung by Divino Liquors here in Denver, which was the first account for Laws whiskey, which is where Dustin Keeley and I got a bottle of batch 1 Laws from them.
Nice.
Which is why I was going back to them because I want to check them out.
Yeah.
But they had a Focaccia Amaro Guarini there, the Focaccia Bruto Amaro Guarini. Words written out and brain not working.
Yeah. It's a lot of Italian.
It's a lot of Italian.
Yeah. It's a lot of Italian.
Anyways, since we love their Center Bay and they had that one, I picked it up. I made 1.5 ounces of Mezcal Banjas, 3/4 ounce of the Amaro Guarini, a bar spoon of Luxardo syrup, and 1/2 ounce of lemon juice, and 2 dashes of coffee cherry bitters in it.
It's fucking delightful. It really is.
So Nate and I were kind of talking and ended up going very similar directions with our cocktails. I did, Campaigns and Concoctions classic equity parts build. So it's 2 ounces of Reposado Mezcal. It's the illegal, I think it's Joven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joven Repo.
No,
Yeah, the Joven.
Repo.
Yeah, the Joven Repo.
No, Joven is not.
Right,
Joven
it's
illegal.
it's
Illegal is the brand.
Illegal. Okay. And then an ounce of the Fascia Bruto
Amaro Guarini.
Amaro Barini.
Go Rini.
Yeah, okay.
Doesn't matter. It's
I
Italian.
can't
It's
say
kind
it.
of like
It's
yellow.
Luigi.
No, that one's
And-
green.
Let Matt finish.
And that would be a totally different.
Yeah.
Let's not go down that rabbit
No.
hole. And then it's an ounce of yuzu curacao, 2 dashes of mole bitters. Turned out pretty nice. It's like a little golden demon-esque. I almost feel like.
It is.
Yeah, maybe
it is
not.
very much so.
But
I like it.
It's a lot more going on. The Golden Demon's real clean.
That's fair.
This real
is
soft.
Not,
that one's not soft.
this is not a soft drink. This is very much a crowd pleaser if you're here with me tonight because we all like punch you in the face mezcal
if you're one of
cocktails.
5 other human beings in the world.
On both of these drinks, if Sark
but
happened to have
4 of
olfactory
them happen to
receptors,
be in this room.
right, yeah.
they both smell really nice. Is what I was trying to get to.
Oh
Oh yeah, the nose
nose on both those
fantastic
drinks
on
is
both of these
fantastic. If you weren't watching me sniff them.
So yeah, I don't have a
very
name for
nice.
that one.
Matt's classic cocktail number 69.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, right? Okay. Trade. No, trade. Done.
Oh, it's fine.
No,
We
trade.
trade while we drink. Doesn't matter.
All right, anything else?
They're
Nope.
both really.
All right.
It was a compliment. I really
As Sark, as you roll up to the door,
Mm-hmm.
you notice the door. You kind of glance in, and you don't really see much that sparks your attention. I just want to deal with what's in the other room first before we kind of dive in. So as you look into the porthole, what you look down and what you see is it's really interesting because you look in and you see a stone floored room that has a little writing table, a what looks like a steel closet, and then there is a long window and a door. Like there's a door immediately to the right, and through that window you can see a bunk bed that has been bolted into the wall. Like it's really hard for you to see like exactly more than that, but that's what you're looking at. So that's kind of what you're seeing. You do see a body on the ground, very much in the same mold of the parts that you saw. But instead of, it doesn't look like anything has been happened to this body. It is just dead and desiccated. So it's kind of shriveled. You really can't tell species or gender or anything like that. It's just like it's almost mummified.
Okay. I don't feel like I would look like seeing that on the porthole. I'd be like, that one's dead. And then I'm going to turn around and look at the room that got opened because the grappling hook has now intrigued me. Because I'm going to kind of wiggle the chain after that and then look at everyone and go, this feels very flamboyant jailbreak.
As this is happening, right? I wanted to kind of like tail Sark up there. Can I see if there's stuff in the other closed rooms as he's walking over there?
You see something very, very similar in each of these other 4 rooms that you see. It's the layout's identical. The only split is that like they're kind of, it depends, they're set up different on either side, and you see probably half of them you can see a body, the other ones you can't. But that doesn't mean that there isn't a body in those spaces. It's just that you can't see one.
Some bodies in the other cells too, y'all.
They look the same as these ones. Desiccated and dried the fuck out.
Yeah, I think they've been here a while.
Yeah. Seems like most things have been here a while.
Elle, was the person that was imprisoned here, was that person the most powerful artificer in the history of artificers? Was that what we discussed previously?
Just ish.
Is that the type of person that could build a grappling hook to shoot through a door?
Ish. Like Elle doesn't have a like ranked list of every other artificer he knows and where they fall on the power rankings.
I also feel that Elle may be jealous in the fact that this is the most powerful artificer that's ever walked the earth.
Never.
It's the biggest thing he did was make it to steal people's souls. He didn't actually do anything useful.
Okay, but is that just like
Definitely more than a little jealousy in that statement.
Just a little bit.
And do we think this might possibly be a jailbreak of that individual? That's why the robots were still there and all the people that were oppressing said individual are now brown stains on the ground.
I mean, if he's not here and not one of the bodies, then it seems like a logical possibility, yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely not why.
But like,
It doesn't necessarily mean that he was in on the jailbreak if he was part of it.
also, if does this keep going? There's no other way out of here. Okay, they'll shut up then.
Patrice, so we're pretty convinced that this is a room that things started in, right? Like we think that this is the epicenter of where all the mess in the other area started.
I mean, if it was a jailbreak, this is very much the middle, because you don't
Yeah.
shut up
Okay.
right next to a cell. Prisons don't
Usually.
really like that.
Usually.
Prisons try to make that a lot harder, let me put it that
Yes.
way.
So
I mean, the grappling hook changes the order of operations
I mean,
significantly.
if I had to guess, they came in from the dock, cut through, broke him out, and then went back through the guard rooms to kill everybody and back out the dock. That's why those are broken, and nothing else was upstairs.
it's all starting to make sense. How much do you want to confirm that? You willing to wait 10 minutes?
So I don't give a shit.
We got time. There's other things to look around here.
I fucking love this.
I'm gonna
wander into the room that got grappling open.
you guys like look around for any articles of the individual whose cell this is. See if you can find anything personal.
Nice.
It's only these 6
Did anyone-
doors, right?
Yep.
Is anyone proficient in investigation?
All right.
Sergeant
For
L
those of
hold
you
up
watching
hands and
at
just
home,
smile like, yeah, this is what we did.
So
Dustin just raises his hand, the biggest shit in heaven.
So as everyone walks in, this is what you see.
oh, cool.
Yay!
This is as you walk in, to the right you see the window with the bunks and then the door, and as you're now seeing this, what you see is that the door is actually it's not a locked door. So what this is it's created just 2 separate spaces for the prisoner to occupy. You do see it's set up exactly like you see here, where there are some sort of screens that are set up, and then there is paper on the right, this kind of like drafting table, and as you look down, you can see some sort of designs that have been scribbled on. You see, just like it is, you see one set of black overalls, jumpsuits hanging out, and then the rest there's the books and empty spaces. And then additionally, the one thing that is here that is unique is, if you can see it right here, is this little black box. It has a little red light that is flashing.
Don't touch that button, L.
Does it seem like maybe they shouldn't have given the most powerful artificer ever a drafting table
Yeah.
while he was in prison? Like did no one see that not ending well?
You're more than welcome to look at everything that's there.
It's like,
Oh,
I feel like we-
Esway doesn't want to touch shit.
I was like, don't touch the paper. It
Yo.
may disintegrate. Let
Yo.
L copy from it.
Skelda's gonna look around for words, see if he can see any writing anywhere that makes enough sense for him to repeat it to L.
You're not you're not going to see anything in space. You'll see there's some book titles that you would be able to read. I'm assuming that Elle would just grab those books anyways, so it doesn't really matter what the titles are. But Elle would love them. But like everything that is written on the walls is stuff like Cell 6, Prisoner Ovisium, right? Because your comprehend languages is still up, so you see that on somewhere on the walls, right? It says Prisoner, and then the name is Ovisium.
Ovisium. Was Ovisium the guy that we were trying to find?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yup.
All right. This is where he was.
Is anyone gonna go? So you guys are all staying in this front room.
I mean,
I don't know if-
Sark's pocketing all of the books in his bag of holding at this point. If they're like whole and stable, he just puts them in the thing.
Yeah, everything. So the unique thing here is, unlike the rest of the spaces, it seems like everything here is fairly well preserved, right? The paper does not appear to be any kind of
Interesting.
it doesn't appear that it's deteriorating. The books are in immaculate condition. So yeah.
What is on the drafting table?
Right now, you see a draft of an axe.
Is there any words there?
There's some descriptions about some magical processes, a few notes within that about how to perfect this process of protection, so that the soul transfer is done properly, and the containment of that soul to, because you get the senses that as you're reading it, like the intent is not only to remove the soul from the creature, but is also to torture the soul, because the idea is that if this weapon has been used to create this event, Elysium's dead, you know.
Right. Skeld is going to roll that up and tuck it into his coat pocket on the inside of his coat.
As soon as you roll that up, the next paper that is below it is a diagram of the guards that you fought.
Skeld is going to pick that up and walk it over to Elle and be like, does this mean anything to you? I can tell you what the words say if you can't read it.
Yeah, that's what we just killed.
Well,
So-
if there's more of them, do you want to study this and tell us extra things we can do? Yeah. I mean, I know that, but you want to look at it now in case you run into more of them before you get a chance to look at it on the ship.
What's the? Is there anything underneath that one on the table?
There's a diagram for a spear, a diagram for a bow, a diagram for a sword, and then there are, unlike those 5 that you have seen already, those are all like plans on how to build something, including the guards. The last one, what you see is a diagram of a warforged. And what you're seeing here is a scientific dissection. Like, this is an investigation, not a plan.
Does it look closer to the ones that we found under the fort, or closer to Sark?
It's it's closer to Sark, because Sark is a newer model compared to the guys you found underground.
Skeld is going to roll up all of these and basically go over to Sark and be like, hey, you should stick all of these in the bag of holding and take them with us. There's one in here that looks like one of your people was
Dissected,
yeah.
disassembled, somewhere in between.
Oh, there.
Maybe don't look at it until we get out of here.
Wasn't he disassembled when you found him?
Partially. This is a very different kind of disassembly. This is,
He was
if there was blood
deconstructed.
involved, it would be a necropsy.
So, just to clarify one more time, the door looks like it was knocked out or pulled out.
Pulled out.
Pulled out.
The door that comes into the cell, because there is a second door that opens in between this kind of like drafting room and then the
Bunk beds.
bunk beds.
So,
Yeah, I was gonna go knock on that door.
As soon as you knock, the door starts to swing open.
Cool. He's gonna go in then.
There's a body on the bottom bunk.
I was going to say.
Body is in corpse or body is in person?
As in corpse.
I just imagine Elle walking up. Poke.
Okay.
is there
If it's
only
not completely desiccated, that's exactly what happened.
is there only one body there?
Mm-hmm.
Is it wearing clothes?
Yes.
Is this what artificers dress like?
Well, considering that it's wearing a black jumpsuit.
This is what prisoners wore here.
Does Elle wear black jumpsuits? Because if not,
Probably
No,
not, right?
no,
Yeah, so there's no
no.
reason to believe this is him.
Except for all the things that say that it's him on the piece of paper.
Does he have an,
There's-
do the,
Is there a
does the
name
jumpsuit
tag on
have
the
a name
jumpsuit?
tag?
No, but there is a massive rend where it looks like something has, some weapon had inserted itself from about here, like Adam's apple, down to about belly button. Oh, by the way, this is a dwarf.
Oh,
Does
Is
that
there-
line up with our knowledge of said person?
I don't believe you were ever told what it was.
Yeah, I don't think we have that.
So the real question is, guys, do you
But
want
I-
to know about this individual, or do we want to know who came here to get him?
Would I know Ovisium's...
Also, is it male or female? We know it's male.
Male, and like the rest of the stuff here, the body is very well preserved. In fact, it is disturbing in the fact that it seems to be barely bleeding, but it's bleeding. It looks like as you look down, there's a pool of blood that seems to have been. It doesn't make sense, right? Because it's obviously not recent enough for this to just be blood flowing, but there's like it's that very slow, annoying drip of a faucet. It's just like drip. 5 minutes later, another one. Right? It would drive you.
Is there more than one bed in this room?
Yeah, there's a second bunk above.
2 bunks, right? Yeah. Is there anybody on the top bunk?
Nope. It looks like that bunk has been utilized for storage.
Would I know what Ovisium's species was, just fanboy-wise?
Nice.
Make a history check.
interesting.
Just like that I'm clearing off the shelf of books. Just like
22.
Did anybody not go into the room?
I'm not in the
No, like in
room.
but like into the drafting room.
I don't think so.
Sid's in there.
I think
Okay.
everybody crowded.
No, yeah, no. I think Esway went in too.
Yeah. So yes, you would know that he was a dwarf. Back in the day, kind of around throughout the age of Arcana, when we talk about the time when magic was unhinged, and like some of the, and then right after as the art of the artificer really became a thing, it was really the dwarves and the gnomes that were crafting the really expansive abilities of technology, which is why Tinkermere is such a center of learning and advancement and innovation, is because of the gnome and the Duergar populations there in the city.
So I was gonna say it's entirely possible if this is Ovisium.
Is he dead or mostly dead?
Oh, this guy's fucking dead, dude.
Missing in here, and just points at the body.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Good question.
Sark goes,
His ribs, like the sternum, like the connection is in half.
Okay.
Like you can reach in and touch his back.
What if it's
So-
dripping?
Sark goes in and actually kind of like pokes around and starts counting organs.
That's what I was wondering.
Yes, yes.
Just remember that this is the only room in the entirety of this space that seems to have been preserved, and that the person that you're seeking out is one of the most powerful and advanced artificers on the planet.
No,
Yeah, I've been
Nate
working,
has put connections
noodling on
together
this.
that I'm ignoring for Sark's sake, because
Okay.
Sark has been looking at a bookshelf and just shoving books in his pocket.
Also, don't forget that there is a blinking red light.
Yeah, that's where Elle's heading next to go investigate that
Patrice-
without touching.
Patrice is watching the red blinking box. He is ensuring that nobody is disturbing the red blinking box.
So, as you look at it, make an investigation check for me, please, with advantage.
25.
So this looks like you guys have seen some devices where projections of other people come out and they say something. This looks like a somewhat more primitive version of that. Like there's a couple of buttons. It looks like that's what this is. Like this is something that preserves some sort of message.
Are the buttons marked in any way?
Yeah, I mean the same. Like there's these universal markings that you guys have come across throughout the spaces that you guys have occupied, with either be under Haven or in the island or wherever you've been, where these kind of these ancient technologies exist, and this falls in that thing. It seems that like the markings themselves, the kind of like the standards, like the idea of like play and pause and all that stuff, how it's kind of universal across language.
There's a solid white square, a solid red circle, and a solid green arrow pointing right.
With a slash and 2 vertical white
Two
lines.
vertical white lines.
I was gonna push the button that he's pretty sure is play.
All right, this is what you hear.
Oh, so good, Morgan.
I'm not sure if you will get this, Elysium. Your captors left me no indication if they will forward this on to you. I told you what would happen if you continued this line of research. You delved too deep, my friend. And now look what has become of you. Where you are. Who now holds you. You are beyond my ability to fix this. You are now stuck. There is nothing I can do. Farewell, my friend.
So when as that's playing, what you see is kind of that Palpatine-esque view of that, like real close up. It's a human-appearing man with slick black hair, kind of copperish tones to the skin. And if I could get everyone who is watching that, so that I know that would be Patrice and Elle, anyone else who happened to be on that side, to go ahead and make a perception check for me, please.
Want rid of the body or no?
No, this is in the first room.
Like Sid went towards the body.
I think Ursula stayed towards the door.
I've got a dirty 20 for Skeld.
Oh my god, I even switched dice.
Yay! Drinks! Wait. No, yeah, totally drinks.
Mine is technically better.
I don't know why cheers with club soda.
So I named this Kiss of Smoke.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
I like
beautiful name and
All
a
right.
great name.
Elle, what did you get?
4.
Okay.
I don't even know.
What was the
Patrice?
check again?
I just know
Perception.
I failed.
12.
Okay. Skjald,
Yeah.
as you're watching this, you're having a hard time defining what's causing this, but you can't tell if it's the device that's flickering or if something's happening. But you seem to see like almost the figure change, right?
Uh-huh.
But it's kind of in conjunction with some flickering of the device, so you're not sure quite what you're seeing. But it almost looks like for like a millisecond, a couple of times throughout this transmission, you see it feels like you're seeing this face shift into a dragon's face and then back.
Ursula's bored, so she walks in the room where the body is.
I'm gonna play it again,
Okay.
and I'm gonna attempt to pause it on one of those flickers.
Okay. So I'm assuming you don't want me to play it again.
No, thank you.
What's that?
You don't want me to play it again. You're just
No.
okay. Make a
Dex,
This is
right?
the most 90s kid fucking solution to this problem, right? Like,
Oh, it totally is.
let's go ahead and make that an acrobatics check.
Oh, it's so good.
go
How
frame
much
by
time
frame on the
Did you
VHS.
grow up spinning on the scrambled
I'm not by
Cinemax?
you.
Oh, man. Do you want me to make a medicine check as I'm, like, poking to count organs?
Nah, he's
Okay.
got them all. You're
Okay.
That's a 17.
You can't quite time it right. Like
Okay.
you're getting close. Like you get it like right before or right after, but you can't
Yeah.
quite get it just right. Because I mean, it is so
Yeah.
fast.
I'm gonna be like, all right, I can't seem to pause it exactly at the right time, but watch really closely. Like that human face, it's disappearing and being replaced with like a fucking dragon or some shit. Like every few seconds, it flickers in and out. And I play it like a couple of times over and continue trying to get it just right so that people like at least know it just happened or it's just about to happen, or, you know, if I can't land it exactly right.
And as everyone he's pointing out to, you see like you see it, but like you're not convinced if it's now that you're, because it's so fast and it's so much in conjunction like with the flickers. It's like the flickers are permanent where they're at. It's almost like the sound of like when you have like kind of like a scratch on a vinyl where it's permanent. It's there. It always kind of has that kind of like that lo-fi sound with it.
So do we want to know who left this message, or do you guys want to know what happened to the artificer?
He's got all his parts. No one's mentioned the axe and the details. Sark can't make that conclusion.
I'm pretty sure we've talked about the axe.
Like, if you guys have talked out
Before.
loud, the like axe that like Sark's like, do we have dimensions anywhere? Because that's a clean strike.
I have a diagram. I have a draft of the axe, and I pull it out. Does it look to be about the same dimensions as the blade of the axe?
Like, do we have?
Do we have what?
Do we have a notion of how big the blade on the axe is?
The diagram is 100% accurate in it, right? Like it's telling you exactly. It's designed. The diagram is made so that someone can build this thing.
Sark walks over and like unrolls it. Doesn't put it on the dude. Just kind of compares the blade size to the wound.
100% matches.
Oh shit.
Hey, guess what? I think I know what happened to him.
I cast
Well-
legend lore on the black box.
Please read that for me so I don't have to go diving.
And I'm trying to. So it says name or describe a person, place, or object. The spell brings to mind your mind a brief summary of the significant lore about that thing you named. The lore might be consistent or current tales, forgotten stories, or even secret lore that has never been widely known. If the thing you named isn't of legendary importance, you gain no information. The information you already have about the thing, the more precise and detailed the information you receive is. The information you learn is accurate but might be couched in figurative language. For example, if you have a mysterious magic axe on hand, this spell would yield this information. Woe to the evildoer whose hand touches the axe, for even the half slices the hand of the evil ones. Only a true child of stone, lover, beloved of Moradin, may awaken the true powers of the axe, and only the sacred word Rudnog on his lips.
I'm gonna save you a little bit here.
Got it.
Okay, this is not like a special item.
No, but the person who had it, and
Okay, see
So
that,
I'm
that's
gonna do
what I
it on-
needed, because if you had just said you said the black box.
you're right. And as I read it, I'm making sure because I thought that it would tell me like who had it. But I'm gonna say the individual that left the message is who I'm focusing on. That is what my goal is to find out who that individual is and anything I can learn about that individual.
Here's the axe.
Oh.
That's freaking cool looking.
Yeah, someone you guys met early in the campaign, they dealt with it.
Yes.
So yeah, thanks. Yeah, we're just cleaning up your mess again.
Not that character's mess, actually.
Oh, it's that other character's mess.
No, it's not. It's not one of my player characters' messes.
I remember. I know about that player character. Okay, got it.
It's one of my current other players, and it's his mess, and I'm gonna find some other way to give him another cursed weapon because I'm gonna make his life a living hell.
How many
Don't
shirts?
piss off your DM, guys.
So it takes 10 minutes to cast Legend Lore.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
While Patrice is casting Al's gonna cast Comprehend Languages on himself and read through the instructions on the diagram.
For the axe?
Yeah, for the soul stealing part.
Oh.
What do you want to know about the soul stealing part?
If there's a chance that Ovisium's soul escaped without the body, or if we're looking for an axe that's holding somebody else's soul because they killed him.
Go ahead and roll a insight check, please. Because you're going to try and interpret things that you have a base of knowledge for, but you don't fully understand.
That's a 12.
So the one thing that you do grasp as you're reading this is that he's got it figured out on how the soul rips from the attacker into the weapon. He's very concerned about the ability that there may be a bleed through effect of his soul being stolen as well.
The wielder?
No, the wielder is fine. Like, he knows that's going to happen. He's afraid, Ovisium is afraid that his soul is going to be taken as well because he can't control the size of the vortex. Right? And this is a very specific spell where it only works on if the weapon is used to kill Ovisium, then the wielder's soul is trapped into the weapon. You'll notice there in a small line, he does say that this wasn't a problem with the bow.
Melee versus ranged, you know. So many advantages.
So we have at least half an Ovisium. We have a body. I don't know what happened with the soul. It may be in the axe.
Can I cast Dispel Magic on the body?
Yes, you can. The instant the spell is cast, the body instantly begins to shrivel and desiccate, and it just begins to fall apart into the same state as all of the other bodies in the.
Well,
Oh, do I cast counter?
Do you want to bring this guy back to life? Are you going to counterspell me?
I was thinking.
Make the decision.
So
Oh man!
everyone who's thinking about casting counterspell or bringing him back to life, please roll an Arcana check, please.
Sid is for
so
sure.
love to preserve the
Okay,
body, so I
as
do this.
Sid is doing this, the gears on her chest spin
Nope.
really
Okay.
fast, and you see her glow.
But
They
roll
call-
this, please,
Wait, I'm
because-
also casting a spell.
I know, but this is gonna
Yeah.
this is
Holy
gonna
shit! 19 plus
So
8, 27.
you instantly know that the reason this happened is that there's something magic in the room that is preserving the body. This is the natural state that the body should be in because this happened so long ago.
So, oh my god.
So even though the blood was still dripping and everything, we are talking centuries that this body has been dead.
So it's preserving the crime scene, not the body.
No, it's preserving the room.
The room, right?
I
Body.
think
The
the
room.
intention may be something different.
Does that mean your drawings
Oh, you're
just
fucking-
No, I
desecrated?
cast it. I cast Dispel Magic specifically on the body, not on a magical preservation effect.
Okay.
I phrased that very, very
Okay.
specifically. I just wanted to end a magical effect on the body if there was one there.
Gotcha.
Seeing this, I say, hey,
Okay.
L, do you have a way of copying these documents before we leave this room?
Ooh, did anyone else roll an Arcana check associated with the body, or was it just it?
Circle of 5.
I'll roll a 19.
So,
So-
Sid knows there's nothing coming back. The body is gone. The
It-
person, obviously, is dead.
The spells that are the time frames that are required for spells to bring people back to life are very specific in their time frames, and you are centuries past that.
Yeah. Okay. So Sid knows the
Right.
body's. So
You
like
need a
Sid.
wish spell.
So the
Mhm.
I think it's really good to explain. So Sid's like,
We know the god of
with the
memory.
body dripping blood, if a body's still bleeding, Sid feels like there's a chance you can bring him back.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's where Sid was at. So
I
like,
just didn't want you to waste a.
no, that's fair. Still happened because I wanted to make sure I got the Arcana check in.
So because of your Arcana check, L, you know that the effect, just because you leave the room doesn't necessarily mean that the effect's going to leave the item, right? And also, you guys have had an example of this because these things have been shoved into a pocket dimension and then brought back out, and they haven't deteriorated.
Yeah.
Valid. Yep.
That works.
Doesn't change what Skeld says because all he knows is that thing was fine and now it's not. And we were all in the room the whole time, so he says the same thing. But I'm sure Hell is like, no, it went in the hole and came back out fine. And Skeld is like, I accept that at face value.
Stark goes to say something and stops and goes, well, that answers that question.
Right.
Do we want to take the body back with us to clarify that we found Ovisium? Since that's kind of why we were here.
Yeah, now he's much lighter.
Definitely that. You're welcome.
Sark just starts pulling up the stuff on the bunk bed to like make a body bag to carry it down.
Right. Just using the blanket to...
Skeld will assist.
I think that's one of the like unspoken things of L and Sark both just look at each other and start doing that.
Oh yeah,
this
like
is clearly not the first time.
Somehow
they rolled a
Sark
body up
suddenly
this
has
way.
a sewing attachment.
you know, he pulls that rope and then just starts looping it around.
Yeah.
Like,
you know
this
what's
is
really
practice.
funny about that is my daughter was playing with some of my minis the other day, and there's like one little bundle that goes with this little boat. She's like, "Oh, those are the sails," and I look at it, and I was like, "No, that's a body rolled up in some sails. Is what that is."
All right. So as you guys are trying to pack everything up, I'm going to see if this works. I think I've got everything fixed to do this. So we're going to see this. You're going to hear over what sounds like a set of speakers.
What are you doing with my friend? Are you
Taking him with us.
Where? I don't think you will. I don't like that.
Oh shit!
Who are you?
That's where we're going to leave off tonight.
Ah.
Did that come through to the
Yeah. Nicely done, Morgan.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us on this adventure of cooperative storytelling. I love when I can get a good cliffhanger. I was counting the minutes on the clock. As always, y'all, if you want to engage with us, and if you have an idea of who this may be, click the links below. Point. As always, thank you so much for joining us on this adventure of cooperative storytelling and crafting of cocktails. Thanks again for awesome, and thanks for hanging with us for 60 episodes. It's awesome. And until next time, y'all. Drink well.
Drink well.
Drink well.
Drink well.